What's up, everybody? This is Nick Nocera.
And Darryl Wong.
And if you're one of the 6 people out there who listen to this show, you know you're listening to No One Likes a Tuna podcast, the world's premier dedicated Fast and Furious podcast. Darryl, how are you this week?
Really good, man.
Yeah?
Calling in remote again from Connecticut.
Yeah.
At Jess's parents' house. Had a wonderful week, and I watched the movie yesterday, actually. Yesterday morning.
Yeah. I had a Friday night watch through. I had a wedding last night, so I didn't really have time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a great... The sun is shining. Autumn love is in the air. New Taylor is good. Like, the world is right. You know what I mean? That's where it's at. And where it's at today, we are also joined by a special guest, Darryl. Former Trader Joe's manager and current political tastemaker, Kate Nocera, is on the line.
Hello, Nick and Darryl. It's lovely to be here.
Sorry?
I was merely I was an employee, not a manager. I managed a coffee shop.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean,
You were a leader by example. I can only presume.
That's true. Did a great job stocking the shelves.
Hello. Hi. So you, Kate, this is your first time watching a Fast and Furious movie. We all watched Fast 5 this week, correct?
Yeah, it was my first time watching a Fast and Furious movie. I did not know what to expect, but it was a nonstop party from beginning to end. I'd have to say.
It was a party.
I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I put on Instagram that I got Fast 5's the best, and this is the best one. Like, don't get your hopes up for the rest of them.
Yeah, they are
they're not as good as this.
Quality.
Yeah,
I would say. Would you agree, Darryl?
Definitely yes.
Yeah, I think they're definitely up and down.
But this movie had a lot of good things going for it. I will say, one, I was pleased to see that Paul Walker was still alive in this film. I wasn't sure on
that this movie has.
Wasn't sure on the timeline of that. I am a huge Paul Walker fan. The Skulls is one of my favorite movies. If you haven't seen it, it's really good.
I saw the Skulls. I think that has what's his name, Joshua Jackson from.
Joshua Jackson, from Dawson's Creek. This was when he was trying to become a movie star, and it's based off.
How'd that work out?
It's
for
based
Josh?
off.
Yeah.
Not great. He was in a TV show on Showtime called The Affair.
Oh,
that wasn't very good. That I saw.
I had a friend who worked on that.
Yeah.
But I have never seen it.
Is the Skulls? Is it a horror? Like a horror show?
It's Skull and Bones Secret Society.
Yeah, it's like guys. As far as I remember, Kate,
they get
overprotective of their secret society, and there's murder involved.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. That's the gist.
Okay,
you got it.
Paul Walker's good. Paul Walker is a huge asset and is a very charming individual and good in this movie, basically.
Yeah. And then also, so my husband only watched the first 5 minutes with me, but we were both very pleased to see, when the news breaks, when there's like news anchors talking, in the beginning, they like bring Pert Hapley. So excited to see Bird.
He's really good.
Word with Bird. Like that, made
it's a great start.
Me. I was so excited.
It's a great start to the movie. Yeah, it really gets you in the mood.
So it was like a great opener, and then I was just totally engaged for the rest of it. So, I have a lot of notes and things to say about it, but.
Let's throw them out there. This is you.
However you guys want to do it.
Out there. Like, what's the first point you want to talk about?
Okay. So I thought Well, first I have a question. I don't know if you guys want to explain it to me, and maybe I could just watch the rest of them. But so was Paul Walker like in the early movies? Was like he a federal agent then, and then like he like becomes part of the family after
Essentially,
that?
that's correct.
Like how like what's the transition?
He
there?
is an undercover cop in the first movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's LAPD.
Yeah, he's LAPD, and he's like trying to bust Vin, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all
Mm-hmm.
goes down, and they find out he's undercover, but then he helps them out, and they accept him into the family. Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of.
Sort
Okay.
of.
Sort
He's
of.
still a buster.
He's still a buster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely hard to tell who I was like rooting for, like, because I love The Rock a lot. And then by the end, I'm rooting for both of them against like the one bad guy, but like The Rock's also a cop. So, you know, do we want to root for the cop? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
It was quite a move to go from federal prison, I thought, to stealing cars off a train.
Yeah,
That was
risky.
bold.
Risky. Well, he had to make a call. You know what I mean? Running on fumes.
Shitty call, O'Connor.
Kate, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You said like The Rock. You're a big fan of The Rock. You're a big fan of Paul Walker. Did Mr. Diesel win you over at all?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
No?
Vin Diesel does no. Vin Diesel does nothing for me, and I know that's like controversial, and like diehard Vin Diesel fans like love this franchise, but like, okay, first of all, it's a murderer's row of cast, right? Like you have like Tyrese, Ludacris, The Rock, Paul Walker, and the guy who plays Giovanni in Only You, which was like a quintessential 1990s romantic comedy starring Marissa Tomei and Robert Downey Jr.
Who are we talking about?
Who are we talking about?
I feel like I need to know this guy.
Yeah, the Reyes, the businessman, bad guy. He plays this older Italian gentleman in one of my favorite romantic comedies of the 1990s.
This is why we have guests. This is very
why
important stuff.
We had no idea. We've never seen him or heard of him. We assumed he was some Portuguese dude they got off the street to play in this movie.
He's Italian.
Okay.
So this movie, also this movie is really important because like it's Robert Downey Jr. before he gets addicted to heroin or like maybe mid heroin, and Marissa Tomei, and they have great chemistry together. And then you see that chemistry later in the Iron Man films when she plays Aunt May and he plays Iron Man.
Oh my God.
Wow.
This is great. This is like, this is blowing my mind, Kate.
Yeah, see, I'm bringing a lot to this.
No, you are. You absolutely are bringing a lot to this table. So what's this movie called?
It's called Only You.
Only You. I've never even heard of it. And this was this like a formative thing as a teen for you?
Yeah, I think I watched it. I think like I watched it with mom, or like we went and saw it in the movies together, but a couple of times. It was definitely like a go-to block.
Yeah.
For me. Sweet. And the premise of that film is Marissa Tomei is playing with a Ouija board when she's like 11 at a sleepover. And it spells out a name for her, and she forgets this experience, the name of like who she's gonna marry, and it's like, oh, you're gonna marry Damon Bradley, and then she is engaged to someone else, and then she meets Robert Downey Jr., who pretends his name is Damon Bradley, but it's not actually Damon Bradley.
Whoa!
What?
Yeah.
Maybe we should watch this movie.
And then I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil.
Okay, no,
the
we'll
rest
keep
of
it
for you.
We
but
want
they're
the
kind of
Tuniverse to go watch this movie and like see it and review it. Yeah.
Because Reyes is in it.
Yeah. Because Reyes is in it. He plays Giovanni, who's her sort of older, hot Italian love interest.
Now, Darryl, you and I have talked a lot about how we think Reyes is a pretty lame bad dude. We don't engage with him really as a villain. He does a lot of sitting behind a desk, which is actually kind of a conference table for some reason. Like he has a computer set up on a conference table as his desk. Did you find that to be different this watch through?
No, not the same.
Yeah.
I mean, Reyes, the scariest thing, he doesn't do that many scary things. He beats up the guy with his paperweights. He has a variety of paperweights, but no papers on his desk.
Yeah.
They're all murder weapons. But yeah, not that scary. Just like a rich, rich mean dude.
I have a note that says he sits in the back seat like a chump, which is basically what he does in the final scene. He's like sitting in the back seat of the car, which there are no back seats in this franchise. Like nobody important is ever sitting in the back seat of a car in this franchise.
If you're not driving, what are you doing? Like why?
That's it. You either need to be driving or like operating some sort of tactical harpoon or like doing something, but instead of just like sitting in the back seat.
He doesn't even have any cool cars.
No, he's got like a black SUV. And I think that's like, we've talked about that a little bit of like, I mean, this movie shines regardless, but like, I find it better when the villains are driving, basically. All right, Kate, hit us with your next one. What do you got?
Oh, one thing that I was wondering, are Tyrese and Luda like in previous films, or is this the first time we're introduced to them?
They are both in the second movie. But this is bringing them back. Okay. They're both in 2, which is universally panned as the worst one. And
is that Tokyo Drift?
No, it is Too Fast, Too Furious. But
when I turned 32, I called my birthday party 32 Fast, Too Furious.
Wow. And yet you've never even seen.
And I'd never seen a film. No, I know. Yeah.
A little disingenuous, I think, maybe, as a 32-year-old.
I know. But like, what else was I gonna call it? 31 was 30 Wonderful.
Oh, that's good. 30, I like that you have names.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
I don't know. Okay. 36, lie on the ground and get covered with worms and die. Yeah.
So Too Fast is a bad movie. We agree. I mean, it has its charms, but it's not great. And Luda plays Tej Parker, who in that movie is like
he owns an auto body, but is an organizer, and his job is to coordinate street races and jet ski races so that Brian, aka Paul Walker, can win money. Yeah,
he's a bookie. Organizer. And then he's an organizer. And then Roman is Paul's friend from childhood, who he brings in to do this job for the U.S. Customs Agency.
I see.
So that Roman can clear his record.
A real early imprint on me when he was a model for Ralph Lauren in like the early.
Did he start that way? It's just like a pure model? Or...
Is he a model first or an R&B singer first?
Oh.
Wow.
He was a model first. Like his first thing. See,
no, guys, this is huge. I didn't even know.
I am bringing all of my 90s references.
You were much more alive in the 90s than I was. So
that's absolutely true. So Tyrese was like, he was like a model for Ralph Lauren, I think, and like maybe a couple, but that was like how he like broke onto the scene, and then I think he dated famous people, and then I think he became like a singer.
Sort of went the Channing Tatum route, I feel like,
Right.
Yeah.
When you're on that sort of trajectory where you're just like a beautiful person, like this is pre-social media era.
Yeah.
Like I sort of like, how do you even climb the social rank if you're doing this in the 90s? It's like you have to get covered.
It was MTV. It was all MTV. So like when MTV was like, you would just I would come home after school and I'd watch MTV from like 3:30 to 5, and that was like TRL, Carson Daly. Like they would have like famous beautiful people who were famous for like and singers and stuff. Like that was like my exposure to pop culture. That was like about pop culture was through MTV between 3:30 p.m. and 5 p.m.
I have vague memories of you
Monday through
watching
Friday.
MTV and vague memories of like the content
Yeah.
involved in that, but I don't.
Right.
I mean, I remember some like VJ competitions and Road Rules Real
Yes.
World
Yeah.
challenges.
Yeah.
And I obviously remember like Carson, like top 10 kind of stuff. He did that like, total TRL. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's right. But the big like cultural, there are these like big cultural TRL moments. I feel like that I met, like Fred Durst or Eminem acted like an asshole at some point on TRL, right? Like I missed that moment.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I mean, I think that it was just a lot. It all kind of blends together. But like that was certainly Tyrese I knew about because I think I like cut his picture out of the.
And how did you find him in this movie?
He was like really can't act at all.
Right.
I don't think. But like he's cute, he's adorable. Like how can you not like him? You know what I mean? And like, and then Paul Walker is just so great that I don't know. It was hard to like sneer at because it's so fun.
It is fun.
I think
it is fun.
Yeah.
And
I didn't really care for the guy. I even forget his name. Like the guy who's like in the favela originally, and they like he was the one who like has a job originally.
We're talking about Vince.
I don't even remember.
Vince.
Yeah, Vince.
Vince.
Yeah, Darryl, you want to take us through Vince's history?
Yeah, so Vince and Dominic Toretto grew up in the same neighborhood, and they were just sort of like street kids hanging out together. And as they sort of grew up into their teens, and Letty would come by, Vince was just always there as whatever, Dom's car family. And
he's a junkyard dog.
Junkyard dog.
Yeah.
And he showed up to the barbecues and just sort of like it's just sort of bark away all of the bad guys and stuff. But yeah, when they started their criminal enterprise.
Do we know why he lives in a favela in Rio de Janeiro?
They all had to bounce. So that was one of the deals. Is at the end of the first movie, the cops are basically busting everybody, and everybody has to like bounce. So Dom ran away to Mexico at the end of the first movie. And then in 4, he's like hanging on the DR, and I assume Vince also had to like scat.
Now that I think about it, though, like Vince, like everybody split because they were about to get busted for all the DVD
but Vince
stealing.
had to get choppered, right?
Vince got choppered away by an LAPD helicopter to the hospital, where he presumably got his gunshot wound and arm laceration taken care of. And so the idea that they would let him go and then he would be able to flee.
Interesting. Maybe he fled bail. I don't know.
They don't really set it up.
They don't set it up.
Or explain to you how he got there. It's just like, he's just in Brazil with his lady.
Vince feels like a bring back that halfway through making the movie they sort of regretted. And then they were like, let's kill him again. Let's kill him again. Let's get at it.
He's gonna be dead now.
Yeah,
totally. One thing I noticed in the end when The Rock and Dom are fighting, does The Rock fucking spit out glass?
No.
Or is that just
it's hard spit.
He has a spitting scene, and he has a spitting scene in all of his fight scenes. It's an intimidation.
It's one of his classic intimidation moves.
Yeah, his excretory system is like always pumping. Like, he's always
very
sweating. Yeah. So as he starts warming up and gets the muscles pumping, gets to release himself.
So Nick, to bring this back to the 90s, did you ever watch wrestling? Did you ever watch The Rock like as he originally was created?
I have since seen that and The Rock as that wrestling entity, but solely through the interest in The Rock via this podcast, right? Like I knew he was a wrestler. I knew he was in the Scorpion King, which is a really bad movie. That was like the third. It was like the third Mummy movie. That was his first big movie. And everybody, I remember the Scorpion King coming out and people being like, "Oh, this wrestler's in this movie," kind of thing.
Right.
But I hadn't really been aware of him before that. I smell what The Rock is cooking. It's his deal, you know? Yeah. But he is the highest paid actor in the world this year.
Is he really? Wow. I mean, like, good for him. Honestly, like, that's so great because no one really, like, made that. He was, like, really the first one to, like, truly make that transition from, like, wrestler world to acting world. You know?
Steve Austin, Stone Cold, right?
Like, but like,
and what's the blonde guy? Fuck,
the
what's
Hulk,
his name?
but like
John Cena.
Well, John Cena's doing a little now, but I feel like The Rock's at his trend. But no, I'm talking about Hulk Hogan. Yeah, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, but like
big
Hulk,
in the '80s.
He was huge in the '80s, but he was always playing himself. Like he was like,
that is true.
He was like, oh, I'm playing Hulk Hogan playing Hulk Hogan in the movie.
Some would argue,
like The Rock is an actor now.
Some would argue The Rock plays The Rock.
Yeah.
I would say if you go watch San Andreas, which is another non-Fast Furious. If you watch non-Fast and Furious franchise Rock movies, San Andreas,
Tooth Fairy,
Rampage.
Isn't he in Billions?
He is in Billions also.
That's like a very popular show.
Yes, we've called Ballers. That's right. Ballers.
Ballers, sorry.
Which I have always felt is just Entourage 2, basically.
Do you know who loves Ballers?
Your husband?
Like, loves it? No, Elizabeth Warren.
That is hilarious.
That
is an amazing little... I told you guys. It was an amazing little political piece there. Wow, incredible. You guys want to do shout-outs? Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, so shout-outs is a segment we have on this podcast. These movies have a lot of product placement in them. And so Darryl and I didn't get bored while doing this podcast. We decided to have a little product placement on the podcast itself. So we just talk about things we're into, using, products, places, people, things. Yeah. Darryl, you want to start us off? Give us like your shout out for the week and sort of lay it down?
Yeah. So I think we started by saying we both went to weddings yesterday and I really need to hark back and this is a Fast Five specific shout out because Don Omar's song is just, it truly, it's not only, it's good. It sets the tone for our podcast, but it also sets the tone for this movie. And like, this is one of the few films that sort of ends on a really high note where you feel really good about everything. Yeah. And I think a lot of it is because of this song. And this song came on last night at this wedding party.
At the wedding?
At the wedding.
Do we know the name of it? Other people tell me the name of it and I never remember.
I forgot.
It's not the Luda song. So there's this like very...
Oh, like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah, the one at the end where they're all like, there's a montage of them spending their cash. Yeah. So we love that song and we use it for the intro and outro of this podcast.
So I'm shouting.
Your shout out is to Don Omar as a music artist.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And the song is great. And like, I have a special connection to it because of this podcast, but literally everywhere I hear it, it's a good time.
It's good.
Like,
there's a lot
at the grocery store.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a shopping motivator. It's a good baseball walk-up song. It's like, it's everywhere and everything, basically. It's one of the best songs maybe ever written. Yeah. It's like the theme song to Different Strokes, and then this Don Omar song, and then maybe like Shake It Off or something. You know, it's like those three.
You into Tay Tay these days?
I'm listening to a lot of Tay Tay, and it's good. It's good. No, here's the secret to liking Taylor Swift: is like don't watch the videos and don't listen to the singles, and like Taylor Swift is great.
So I have to
The
listen.
first single always is garbage.
Yeah.
No matter what.
So I got to go albums.
Yeah,
Full
album.
listens.
Go albums.
Yeah.
Full listens. They're good. Turns
When
out.
do you like to listen to Taylor Swift the most? Like, what are you doing at the time where
I just took
Taylor Swift's
I
up the
literally
vibe?
took a 3-hour motorcycle ride back from this wedding today, and I listened to Taylor Swift the whole time. The whole
Sweet.
time on my bike. Yeah, it was great. Speaking of motorcycles, my shout out this week is quick, and it's to Corazzo motorcycle gear. I have a jacket that I love. It's padded. I got elbow pads. I got a back pad. It kind of looks like a welding jacket, which I think is kind of cool. But their site, Corazzo, I don't know how to spell it. Corrozo, something like that. Look, you'll find it.
Yeah.
They're a little on the pricey side, but the jackets are really good, and they don't look like big nylon motorcycle jackets. They sort of look like regular jackets, which I like. That's my shout out this week. Kate.
Hey, I want to shout out my Weber grill. I got it at the beginning of the summer, and I got I originally had bought a Weber charcoal grill, which is like delightful and cute and stuff, but let's face it, I'm lazy.
Yeah.
And I love a gas grill, and
propane
so I bought a gas grill.
Vein. There you go.
Got a propane gas grill, and it's so easy. I can just turn it on, grill my steaks, grill veggies, grill all kinds of things.
Do you know the model of Weber grill that you own?
It's called I think a 310 or something. I don't know exact model. Whatever. I went to Home Depot. It was a very dramatic situation where the model I wanted was mismarked, and they were like, "Well, we're gonna have to build you a new one." I was like, "But this is it. This is the grill I want. Just give me this grill." And they wouldn't. But then
you bought the floor model.
Then I just wore them down, and they gave it to me.
Amazing. I love buying the floor model. It's one of my favorite
I was
things to do.
"Well, just put it in my car. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we have to do."
Yeah.
Anyway, I love it. I'm gonna grill a steak on it and some chicken sausages for Mike because he doesn't eat red meat because he's conscious of the environment.
I mean, Mike's a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all should be more conscious. Eat some more Impossible Whoppers,
They're so bad for you. Have you had one?
Yeah, I've had one.
Yo, I had one last week.
Yeah, they're good, yo.
I really want one, but they're also I think they're 1,000 calories.
Yeah, they're not better for you than the regular Whopper, but maybe better for the planet.
Sure.
Cool. I tried one.
You didn't like it?
It wasn't very good.
You didn't like it?
I don't think it was a problem with the burger itself. I think the Burger King just did a half-ass job preparing it.
Oh yeah.
Look, if you're gonna put those chemical mayo and different things on top of it's gonna taste good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's real meat or not.
I found Burger King to have the most variance in quality of the fast food chains. Yeah. You get some real stinkers in there.
That's right.
pretty bad. Pretty bad. But shout out to Weber Grills. I also have bought a Weber grill. I don't currently own one, but I have bought Weber Grills in the past. And shout out to purchasing floor models. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I tried to buy a floor model Clark's shoe at the Clark's shoe store one time, and they would not let me though.
The big one?
the Shaquille O'Neal
No,
size?
not like a big
I'll take the size 50.
It was the last shoe. It was the shoe that was there. It was one shoe. You know how they have one shoe there. And it was a size 11, which was the perfect size for me at that minute. And I was like, well, you probably have a pair to this one. They were like, yeah, we do. I was like, well, can I buy it? They're like, no, we have to keep the floor model.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I hate it.
No.
I don't know if I've ever bought a floor model of anything.
Dude, get on it. It feels great.
I must be missing out. I'm the type of guy that will go to the grocery store, and if I'm in the pasta section, I'm trying to pick which type of pasta I want.
Yeah.
And I identify it, and then I pick the one that's behind the front one.
Oh, really?
The front one's always dented.
Yeah, people have touched it.
People touched it. I was like, no. Give me the one behind there.
Buying the floor model feels like an old-timey experience to me. Like, you walk into the general store, you know what I mean? And they had, like, stuff from the Sears Roebuck catalog there. And you were like, oh, I need this backhoe, but I need it tomorrow. Can you sell me this one? And then you order another one from the store. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of old-timey things, if I'm allowed to seg from there, I was at Mom's house. Like,
we talk about Mom as old-timey?
She has this...
Because I was like,
I'm not talking about Mom's
old-timey.
She has, like, she had this catalog for the Vermont Country Store, and, like, I really, really, really want to go, but it's just, like, it's basically a catalog for people in their 80s selling things that they could own in like the 1950s.
Okay, you're behind the times on
this.
Incredible. Not only have I been to the Vermont Country Store with our mother,
I really want to go.
I bought a nightshirt to sleep in, like Ebenezer Scrooge,
like a flannel,
like a flannel white floor-length nightshirt. Not only did I go,
so good.
I gave the Vermont Country Store a shout out on this podcast where we did it in like 2015.
Oh my god,
that place is amazing.
I just want to go. I was like going through the catalog and just like reading the descriptions of everything out loud, and was like, why haven't
Darryl? If you need any ribbon candy,
if
you need ribbon candy, this is the fucking spot.
I don't even know what that is. Is this like a Costco?
They sell boxes. They sell boxes of like black jelly beans because like only old people like black jelly beans, and it's like, don't sort through the rest of the jelly beans. We'll just sell you black jelly beans, like the most fucking disgusting jelly. I don't know.
It's really incredible. It's a place in Vermont. It's a store in Vermont. They also have a catalog you can order from, and they just have like old people stuff. That's the best way to describe it. Just stuff.
Yeah,
old
they
people
just have old people.
Very comfortable shoes.
Shoe trees.
Night shirts. Shoe trees. Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Shoe horns. Yeah. Big time. Long ones. Ribbon candies.
Yeah. Like cream for your face that's been out of like it's probably
really
toxic.
One guy still making
hasn't been.
It's so old that the expiration date has faded off of the packaging.
Correct.
That's kind of stuff. Yeah, the place is great. Shout out to the Vermont Country Store.
I'll be my other shout out.
All right. I want to talk a little bit about the Rock's dudes. There are a bunch of The Rock has a team together with him.
Do you remember their names?
There are a bunch of dingoes, first of all.
Like really Shadow, Wilkes.
No, it's not just Shadow. It's like, isn't it like Shadow Scream? Is that a Transformer? I think that's a Transformer.
Wilkes
is definitely one of them.
There's like at least two other ones.
Wilkes is the guy who takes apart the car and like gives him a lot of flack for having to put it back together. But they're all like, they look like rejected like UFC dropouts. You know what I mean? Like they're all like skinny and like not. One of them is like, one of them's kind of fat. They're kind of bald. Like they do not look like an elite DSS fighting force at all. They look like a bunch of dingoes. Yeah, that definitely stood out to me. And the one guy who Rock has a hell of an intro in this movie. Yeah. He like gets off the plane and he starts like just getting down to business.
Put on your thunder pants.
Yeah. Give me
them damn veggies.
Yeah. The guy who acts with him opposite that role is bad in this movie. Yeah.
Didn't really notice.
Exactly.
So is Vin Diesel? Is it controversial that people like him or don't like him?
Well, I know one person who really doesn't like Vin Diesel. His name is Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Are we talking in the movie or outside as Vin Diesel? Like
at times both.
No, I'm talking about like the fans. So do the fans like Dom, or do we all hate him?
We can speak as two fans who really like Dom. Yeah.
Great. And then, so having not watched any other Fast and Furious movies, I assume that the cut scene in the middle of the credits that shows what's her face?
Eva Mendes.
Eva
What is her
Mendes.
name?
Yeah.
Monica Fuentes.
No, Eva Mendes. No, not the picture.
Oh, Letty. Yes, Michelle Rodriguez is Letty.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Yes.
She is.
She is the one that Dom lost. She dies in 4.
Well, clearly not.
Well,
Nick.
right. So, and then she comes back for
Clearly,
6.
she's still
She's
alive.
very good character in these movies.
Was this another one, do you think, where they're like, oh, we'll kill her, and then actually... Anyway, we'll bring her back. See what happens.
Well,
Similar to Vince.
what do you think they're on?
I think my recollection of that situation was that Michelle Rodriguez actually had some other stuff going on outside of sort of making these movies.
That's right.
Right. She had her own personal issues, but I also
She had like a quarter season of Lost to do.
Yeah. And I also know
she had like 2 DUIs.
Oh,
she had some so she has some substance issues, I think. From what I remember.
Gotcha.
But it's interesting. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but she's been one of the I think she's threatened not to come back in 9 because she felt that women weren't represented well in these movies. And she was like, we need to improve the situation here. Like, let's get a lady director, lady producer, because this kind of sucks. And like, I've been in all these movies, and like, we need a better image. Yeah. So I think she's been on and off, sort of like, I don't know.
I think she's going to be in 9. That is my understanding, is that she's signed on for 9. But that she is being vocal about the fact that, like, these movies do not have great, like, representation of women, either in, like, diversity, in terms of, like, diversity, just, like, the numbers of women, and their portrayal and representation of women is, like, pretty shitty and misogynistic a lot of the time. So I think she's been very vocal about that. And I don't know if, I didn't know she had threatened to, like, not do it. But, maybe we should look into that. Yeah. Get a news report on the pod next time.
Yeah. I read that somewhere. I forgot where though. Sorry.
Kate, how did you feel about the female characters in this movie?
I felt fine. I mean, like, Jordana Brewster has always been just sort of like a very, very basic, pretty person who is not particularly talented at anything else.
You heard it here first, folks. Kate Nocera is shitting on Jordana Brewster pretty hard.
But like it's clearly not a central, forethought of representation in the Fast and Furious franchise. But I don't think I like turned it on
thinking that it would be
ready to thinking that I was about to have my mind blown. So I don't know. I mean, like, again, Jordana Brewster, quite forgettable.
Yeah, we think so too.
Like, could have been any person playing that role. So,
Yeah, I mean, there's like emotional shit from the first one. Like, our basic feeling is that we like her in the first one, and so like it ties emotionally. Like she's terrible in the ones that she's in further on, but we still have that sort of sentimental tie to her in one.
Sure,
I think. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so she does fine. She's fine.
I get it.
She's all good. Yeah.
Okay.
D-Rock, do you have other stuff you want to talk about in this movie?
I think that was kind of it. I was trying to think about sort of, has Jordana Brewster been in other stuff?
Is she a 90s staple also, Kate?
Oh, hello. I would call her more early aughts. I would have to look up what she was, but I think she was in some sort of teen drama on the CW, which was a channel, but another very popular channel in my youth of programming that I like to watch. So I don't know what show it was.
But she had something
like
before
one,
we think. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. You should go. Can you Google
Yeah, I
it
can Google it right
now?
now. Let's find out.
Google it and
Let's
find out what she was on.
So we think maybe one
And I
was like
can-
peak Jordana career was 2001 when this movie came out.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
All right, Jordana. And really, I don't think she's done a whole ton since.
Is she in any of the later films?
Certainly. I just mean like outside the franchise. I don't think
yeah,
it's big.
You don't think she's like...
No. She was on As the World
Turns.
She was a soap star. She was on As the World Turns and All My Children.
Oh, interesting.
She was also in The Faculty, which is a weird 98 movie with Jon Stewart in it.
There you go.
About teachers who are aliens. Annapolis.
Okay.
Yeah, and Fast and Furious. She did 40 episodes of the revival of Dallas from 2012 to 2014. So
that's significant.
Yeah, that is significant.
I didn't even know they revived Dallas.
Well, come and gone, seems like.
Ava Mendes is like so beautiful. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's also crazy, like she's married to Ryan Gosling, so that's awesome for her.
What?
You didn't know this, Darryl? No?
Yeah. I didn't know that.
They met on Place Beyond the Pines, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine being married to Ryan Gosling? Like,
it's kind of my dream. I'm still working towards it. Okay.
So beautiful. Yeah. I can't. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's just sweet and Canadian.
Yeah.
You know.
I know, but also like, what's that movie with Steve Carell?
Is that the one where he fucks a plastic doll?
No, there's another movie with him and Steve Carell where he fucks a plastic doll, but that's not this one. This one, he like falls in love. It's like falls in love with Emma Stone.
Yeah, it's called Crazy Stupid Love, is what it's called. Also, Marissa Tomei.
Love that movie. Marissa Tomei is so good. People underestimate her, but she's so good.
You know, what would make a great addition to the Fast and Furious franchise? Yeah, Marissa Tomei would be good in these movies.
Absolutely.
Good. We thinking good guy or bad guy?
Absolutely.
Oh, bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah. She's awesome. Yeah. I'm like personally, frankly, devastated about the Spider-Man situation.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I'd never been like attached to like a superhero before, but for some reason that version of Spider-Man, like I really am into. So that's why I'm on my like Marissa Tomei kick. Also, I just finished the Avengers finally last weekend, 3 months late.
Okay.
So,
well,
yeah.
Next, Marissa Tomei, if you haven't done it, the great one, My Cousin Vinny.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, she's the best. That movie is incredible.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Darryl's just like we're
gabbing over here over Mr.
Anyway, but you guys should really watch Only You, just because that is related. That is related to this.
We try to keep it once we watch all 9 of these movies, we watch a different movie in between. A lot of times it has like one of the actors in it. Like we watch like some of the Vin Diesel movies.
I think I think it should be Only You because it's like literally a romantic comedy and it's so different.
It sounds great. Yeah, I'd be down to watch that.
Maybe we could start doing like half episodes where we like watch 2 movies a week and then we can talk about both.
Bro, I can't watch fucking 2 movies a week. What are you, crazy?
I mean, I assume you watch everything. I don't know how
you out of your mind, bro.
Watch all the stuff.
I don't have time to do anything. We still have to watch 6 Resident Evil movies for the Patreon people.
That's true.
How many Patreons do you have?
We got 2. They're named Fredo and Steph. And we love them both.
Hi, guys.
We talk about them every week.
And are you going to do an episode on Hobbs and Shaw?
We did it already. It's out there. Okay. It's out there. It's part of the cycle now. So when we watch all of them, we will include Hobbs and Shaw again as well.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not up on my No One Likes the Tuna.
Oh, it's okay. Just like if you cared, it's fine. Hey, I gotta ask you one more question before we sign off. What did you think of the vault scene?
I loved it. I loved it.
Good.
What a twist.
Yeah.
And like, it was spectacularly done.
It really is.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Just like, you didn't see it coming. And then like, as soon as Hobbs realizes what happened, you realize what happened. And then you get to see it. And that is amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So good.
So I learned something this week, Darryl.
Mm-hmm.
The vault scene, they really did some of it.
Wow.
So they built a car. They built a vault around a vehicle. They built a vault vehicle. And so there's a dude in the vault driving the vault.
No!
Yes!
Wow.
What?
I mean, some of it obviously is CGI when it's like rolling through buildings and shit, but like some of it just like the street scenes that they're driving and making turns and shit. There's a vault vehicle that they're driving behind the two cars.
Oh my god.
Yes. Incredible.
Wow.
Can you imagine being the vault guy?
That would be insane.
We should try to get the vault guy.
They probably put windows on it. They
Amazing.
probably put windows on it and like CGI it over it.
I think that he had a little like
One little
mailbox,
slip.
like a mailbox to look through.
I was thinking about the stuntmen on this film,
Mm-hmm.
and
Extensive.
just like how incredible it is to like be a stuntman, and like what your life must be like as that.
Dangerous, turns out.
Yeah.
Part of the thing of this series is like the stunts are just incredible, right? Like the live action, they're like really do a lot of the stuff, and you'll see when you go through and watch these movies, you'll see like it's just they do a lot of stuff in reality.
Oh, because I'm definitely gonna watch all
you should.
of them.
Yeah, 6, 7,
No,
6 and 7
not.
you should watch. They're most in the flavor of 5.
Okay.
Got
it.
But the stunts are good. But unfortunately, a stuntman working on 9, Fast and Furious 9, was injured and is now in a coma. So it is a dangerous job to do.
Yeah. It is. It
So
is.
he is not out of his coma.
Well,
He's
that's
still in his
sad.
coma. I read a false report the other day. But yeah. We're all pulling from in the Tooniverse.
Yeah. Definitely. For sure.
That's it from me too. Thank you.
Great experience.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, guys. This was really fun.
Thank you for bringing the 90s vintage vibe to it.
Yeah, we really needed it. It was something we didn't know we were missing. We should have you on again to get the 90s perspective.
We'll call you.
We'll go to 90s Corner. Kate, do you have anything else you need to talk about this movie? Like you're dying, it's burning in your soul to talk about? Okay.
Nope. I mean, no, it was a great movie and packaged neatly into 2 hours, which is also nice.
I unfortunately watched the extended cut because it's the only version I own, and it's not as good. Yeah. And
like honestly, I'm probably gonna like watch The Skulls maybe later.
I think this sounds like a dope plan. Darryl, what are you doing tonight?
I think I gotta work my way back to Brooklyn, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I might try to catch some content. I got a 2-hour Metro North train back, so we'll see.
Little phone movie.
Little phone movie.
Yeah.
I got a laptop. I got a laptop somewhere.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, didn't mean to insult you. Okay. Sounds great, guys. Well, enjoy your evenings, and thanks for coming on, Kate. Really appreciate the call in.
I really enjoyed it, guys. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Bye.